I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be dealing with a difficult ex and your kids when you're trying to see them and your ex makes it a real pain in the ass. I've got an email here from a guy obviously who's having a difficult time with his ex, and he says, "Hi Corey, I'm having some issues with my kid's mother. We were living under the same roof with our child, and after our disagreements, she decided to move to her parents' house, which is about an hour and a half from where we lived. After our court hearing, my visitation was set at twice a month. A year down the road, she moved our kid even further, and he says it's another 2 hours away. She would drive him to meet me. Now the kid does not want to come visit, saying that I live too far." And he says clearly it's his mother talking to him. "The mother is now getting on her high horse and telling me to move closer to them, calling me all sort of names, selfish, miserable, a deadbeat, etc. I love my kid to death, but cannot move. I am not her puppet, as you should not be, as I have a job down here that allows me to pay my child support. I am considering falling back, as this is becoming more and more stressful for me. What would the proper approach be?" All right, you see this a lot with relationships that may have not ended so well, where the mother just takes it upon herself to try to take the kids and the family as far away from the father as possible, and every time he wants to see his kids, she's always talking shit about him behind his back to the kids, basically turn the children against the father. And I mean, you see it in the news all the time. There's always some celebrity or some couple fighting over custody rights, and this is just the kind of shit they have to deal with. And this is why I say it's so incredibly fucking important to make sure, if you're going to get into a long-term relationship with a girl, or even get married to a girl, that you get married or you're in a relationship with a woman who has a good attitude, who understands men, who understands how to communicate like an adult, who's just not an immature pain in the ass. And it's like, this particular woman obviously sounds like she's doing everything she can to make his life miserable and make it difficult for him to see his kids, even though he loves his child and he wants to spend time with his child. But I mean, this particular case, so you get visitation twice a month. I mean, the only thing you can really do is, I mean, especially if they're a couple hours away, you agree to meet halfway in the middle, and then I don't know if that means you get the child for the weekend or whatever. But what's important that you gotta make sure your kid knows is that every time you see him or her, or every time you're around them, that you constantly tell them that you love them and why you love them and that you're proud of them. And when you spend a tremendous distance away from your child, and you got a mother who's constantly basically talking in their ear, because it's obvious that she spends more time around them than you do. She's probably saying all kinds of shit about you behind your back, things that she's probably still pissed off and been out of shape with. And it would behoove you, like when she starts berating you, you just need to tell her, you just say, "Look, I understand that things didn't work out between you and I, but I don't have to sit here and take this crap, and I don't appreciate you talking to me in the tone that you're talking to me. If you got something to say or something you want to discuss like an adult, I'm happy to listen. But sitting here and listening to you hurling insults at me is not my idea of a good time. And the most important thing is our child, and it's doing a good job of raising our child. And you saying things about me behind my back to our kid to the point where they don't even want to come see me anymore, it's not helpful. It's not helping this situation. We should be doing the best we can." So, I mean, the bottom line is it didn't work out for you and I. So the bottom line is we should be providing as loving and as healthy of as an environment and as an example to our child as we can. It's not doing our kid any bit of good for you to constantly be nasty to me in front of our child, or to say things bad about me to our child, because at the end of the day, you were the one that made the choice to get into a relationship with me, as well as I did, that led to us having a child. And for you to point the finger and put all the blame on me, it's not helping matters. And obviously it's going to be another 20 years that we're going to be dealing with each other until our child graduates college. So let's be as civil and as adult like this as we can. But I love my kid, and I want to spend time with them. And it's not fair that you keep trying to punish me and replay whatever happened. So if you got something that's really pissed you off or upset you, then I'm happy to listen and work something out. But I'm not interested in constantly being berated by you, because that's not doing you any good. It's not doing me any good. So what's on your mind? What is it that you want to talk about? And just listen to her and let her talk. And let her talk about all the things she's complaining about. Instead of arguing with her or trying to reason with her or use logic with her, which is not going to work anyways, let her talk. Let her talk about all the things that she's upset about, or all the ways that she thinks you hurt her, or whatever it happens to be. And just keep going, what else? Tell me more. Don't leave anything out. And just get her to talk and explain all these things to you so you can diffuse the tension in there, so you can get her to talk about it. Because if you're just combative all the time, nothing's going to get any better. And she's going to keep turning you against your child to the point where your kid's like, hey, I don't want to see you, Dad. I don't give a shit about you, Dad. And he wants nothing to do with you. Now, that may ultimately be the case. It may end up there, but it doesn't have to if you just simply talk to her and get her to talk, but make sure that she's respectful to you. Because if she starts being nasty, you just need to say, hold on a second. Talk to me in a calm voice, a nice voice, a kind voice, instead of being mean and nasty to me. Because this is about our child. This isn't about you. This isn't about me. This is about doing a good job of both of us parenting and being as loving and as sweet to our child as possible. Because it's not helping our kid grow up to be a healthy adult when the two of us are at each other's throats all the time. And that's what you got to do. You got to get her to talk. You got to get her to open up. And I know it's a pain in the ass. It's not what you really want to do. But at the end of the day, you got a child with her, and there's no reason that the two of you need to be hating each other. And when it comes to her saying you need to move closer, just say I can't. I got a job. I like living here. I'm not moving anywhere. You're the one that decided to move a couple hours away, which is totally your choice. But see, the thing is like, as a man, you got to stand up for yourself. And your purpose is obviously where you live, and in the city that you live, and the job that you have. And you don't need to compromise on that. You don't need to move away, because at the end of the day, she's the one that moved away. But you need to be firm and stand up for yourself and talk to her just like I talked to her, to get her to calm down and talk to you in a nice voice, and just getting her to emote, because she'll work through her anger or whatever is going on inside her, what she's pissed off, if she talks about it and feels like you're actually listening to her and understanding where she's coming from. Because like I said, this is for 20 years. If your child is real small, you figure they go through college, everything, for the next 2 decades you're going to have to deal with her whether you like it or not. And if you can't come to a place where you can deal with her in a good way, then you're basically going to lose all contact with your child. And I don't know about you, but it's like, I don't have any kids of my own, but I've helped raise the children of women that I've dated over the years, and I feel like they're my own kids, especially when I was with them. And even, like one of my girlfriends, I spent a lot of years, even after we were broken up, spending time with her daughter, because I loved her. I loved her like my own child. It's like kids are our greatest teachers. I learned more from her little girl and the relationship that I had from her about being loving and kind and sweet and a father figure. It was one of the most life-changing things I have ever been through. And it was an honor to be a part of her life and a family when I was together with her mother, but it was also my honor to continue to be in her life for many years afterwards. And now she's a year away from being an adult, and when I first met her, she was almost 6 years old. And so she was this tiny little girl I used to carry in my arms, and when she was asleep and she was passed out. And it's amazing to watch a child grow up and to be a part of her life and to have her look up to you and see you as a father figure, even though you're not naturally her real dad. So if you have a question you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, on the right-hand side below the email sign-up box is a link that'll take you right to the Kindle download page. Once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device, click the button on the right-hand side to download a free e-reader app for your smartphone, tablet device, or your computer. It only takes a matter of seconds to download and install the app and complete the purchase of my book. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these videos and the articles and the ebook on my website, you can show your appreciation by going to my website, and on the Wibby toolbar, which will be at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.